I'd like to call the August 6, 2019 bid board meeting to order. We have a quorum. I'd like approval of the minutes from July 2nd.
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 1, financial report. Adam, good morning.
Good morning. All right, so as of July 23rd, 2019, you have $107,259 in your budget, where you started, an actual of $58,868.57. Total encumbrances are $17,893 with 66 cents, and total available of $30,496.77.
Any questions? There's no questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now that my computer's rebooting, I have to get the agenda back. Item 2, the Art and Chalk Fest update. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today. So Adam asked me last week if I could come and just give you an update on the festival and how everything went. So Art and Chalk Fest took place the last weekend of July, the 28th and 29th. This is a photo from the event, which I think is just awesome. It's very interactive. But before I get into the festival, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what we're trying to do leading up to the festival to both draw awareness of all the activities, but also more awareness to the programs that go on all year at MOA, because we're really working to draw people all year to West Bend, to MOA, and to explore all of our programs. So this year we offered several different chalk art camps, classes, and workshops. Last year we tested this with a younger group, but this year we really expanded. So we brought in, you can see on the bottom left, is the teacher, that's Janet Tombros. She's a chalk artist from Florida. She's helped us really kind of establish these programs. She's also one of the artists at Art and Chalk Fest. So these are photos from our junior masters camps that were on Tuesday and Wednesday of the week leading up. And they were for youth ages 5 to 8 and 9 to 12. And then this is the teen masters class that we had. So we're sort of just incorporating teen classes. We haven't really had them in the past until this year, now that we have a new educator on staff. And kind of funny, Molly Fay, who's one of the co-hosts on the Morning Blend, which we were on, her daughter was there to watch our segment because she loves chalk art. And so her daughter's the one on the left. We talked her into coming up for the camp or the workshop, and she just loved it. And she and her mom came on Sunday to the festival. So these are some aspiring chalk artists. And then we also had one adult class. It was more of a chalk and cheers and incorporated some happy hour elements. It's just a couple hours in the evening on Thursday. So we tried to have chalk art activities for all ages that week. We did have 63 participants in our programs leading up, and they were coming from all over, I mean, really southeast Wisconsin and even in northern Illinois as students. So that was great. Art and Chalk Fest, we had another beautiful year with weather. It was very hot, but at least it wasn't stormy or snowing or something. So this is a photo of the visitors at Art and Chalk Fest. We had 63 fine artist booths this year. That's about like the perfect amount for us. We've had 63, 64 kind of all 3 years, and we think that it's just the right fit, because otherwise if you get so many vendors, it's hard to really actually shop them. People just kind of start walking by. We get a lot of feedback from all the vendors saying, you know, there's too many jewelry, or, you know, so we try to really have a good balance. We had over 100 applicants this year from all across the nation to participate in the event. We actually had artists come from 12 different states, including as far away as Colorado and Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kansas. So they're coming from all over, and then we have a really huge amount that are from all over in Wisconsin. You can see here just a variety of mediums that is presented, and we do give out awards to some of the fine artists. We bring in judges, and they really care about that because they can put their medals on their sort of awning and people shop. There's just a couple more photos of just some of the variety of artwork. And so we do survey all of the artists who attend and participate in the event, including even the food vendors, everyone, just to learn about their experience, how we can make it better, how were their sales, all of that, and did they stay in a hotel and those things. And I would say overall they were really pleased with the event and their sales. It's definitely turning into a more of a Sunday event we're seeing, which we have anticipated, and that's because of the chalk. Saturday was a good day. It was busy. It's very busy, but Sunday was so busy. I don't know if you were there, but it's just like mobs of people because that's the day that the chalk art is done. All of the other activities are also happening, so we just found that switch is starting to take place, whereas like the first year or two, people haven't, maybe experienced it and come more the first day thinking Saturday's the big day. So that's great. This year we had 17 chalk artists. 3 of them are students, and many of the chalk artists are ones who have participated before, but this year we actually had to also open it up to an application process because we had probably about 40 who were interested. So we really had to jury it and select, and we did have several who were new. And they also came from Florida, Utah, Tennessee, Michigan, Minnesota, and they really think of their work as more of like a performing visual art. So, when people ask why we wash it away, it's really because the artists want visitors to be there while they're there, and they want to see the 2-day process. And like, it rained on Saturday night, and a lot of the chalk art washed away, and even though they tarp it still gets condensation, and it's pretty amazing to see like how resilient they are, and just an hour later it looks amazing again. So these are just a couple of pieces here. You can see like a lot of them are really interactive, which I think is great for all the visitors coming in and taking photos and just kind of exploring. These are both student artists. So we had 3 total. One is new, a young boy from Wausau, and then we have these 2 gals who've participated every year. Kinsley on the left is from West Bend, and Kaylee is from Hartford. And Kaylee actually on the right we had 2 Viewers' Choice Awards where you could vote all weekend for your favorite, and she was one of the winners. So that was really exciting. So this year, and every year so far, the museum has been free for everyone to come in and explore. The festival is free admission as well. And the gardens were open, so it provided a much more expansive space compared to last year, where we were completely under construction, which was really great. A lot of people were walking throughout, and really seemed like they'd go down to the south end and go to the hub, or really kind of spread out, which was nice. It's nice to have some space, and it seemed like people really enjoyed it. Inside the museum, visitors were able to explore our exhibitions and really kind of see what the museum's about. Like, our goal is to have this be a great entry for people who have never been to MOA or even to West Bend, and get a taste of what happens throughout the year with the goal of them coming back. So we do sell memberships during that time, or at least try and push, give information out on what else there is to do. So our member show is on the left. You can see the line going down. I mean, people are really excited about that. It's open to any member, so people can submit their work every year. It's just whoever the first 250 to submit gets in. And then on the right, that's my intern, Rwanda. She was there just opening the door to the galleries. But she, that was like the best job, because she was air conditioned and hanging out, and I was so jealous. But it's amazing. We have 160 years of Wisconsin Dells photography right now on view, and a lot of the visitors have been to the Dells. They really enjoy it, and so that was kind of fun for them to see and explore. So also this year, we decided to have art activities inside and out, just to give people more of a flavor of what our studio Saturdays are more like, which are always inside for the most part. It also is a great break from the heat. So we set up tons of tables and stations in our atrium, and they were filled with people all weekend. I think it was just a little too hot out there on Veterans Avenue to spend a long amount of time. We did have chalk all over as well, but the inside was really a big hit, and it was really exciting for us to be able to share sort of the knowledge of our educators and our volunteers who are always here every week for Studio Saturdays and see people engage. We also had a selfie wall outside, which turned out to be really interactive. We had an artist paint it in advance, and people are sharing their photos still on social media, so it's fun. Along with all of the art, we had entertainment and music throughout the weekend. So Jackie Maynard with the city is like a huge partner on this event with us. She's been really supportive and helpful in the whole process, and she is one of the leaders of the West Bend Dance Tumbling Troupe, so they came and performed, and that was pretty incredible. And then we also this year put up a big tent in the gardens to provide more of a central location for our beer and a nice break from the shade, the sun. And it was really packed throughout the weekend. We had 4 live bands, and it was kind of a nice addition. It was a test for us, actually. We didn't have a tent like that in the past. We had 11 food vendors. Serving anything from like ice cream to barbecue. We also had Lakefront there giving samples. They were our beer sponsor. And so it was just kind of a great way to get a taste of some food, but hopefully go and explore further downtown. We kind of acknowledge we're best at art and art making and that sort of thing. So we hope that those who are best at food are able to have people there and just maybe get a taste while they're here at the festival. Art and Chalk Fest really drew engagement on social media. I mean, every year I'm pretty much glued to my computer that whole week, answering questions and engaging, and it's really exciting. I think out of anything, sometimes the social media is the most exciting part because I'm geeked out by it, but it's just so visual. And I mean, some of our posts, the one on the right, had almost 10,000 engagements, which that's a lot for us. And it's really people are so positive on the comments and excited, and they're sharing. We had at the end, so there was a live video, which was really great, but we also, that post with all the chalk artists, so I do posts throughout the weekend, our sponsors and what's going on, and so we did one that just showed all the chalk artists and their finished pieces, and you can't see it here, but we had a link on there for people to vote for their favorite online, because people just love to vote, and that's a great way for me to get information about the people, so I asked them their zip codes and if they want more information about the museum, and a lot of people did. We got several leads, complete full addresses and information from 6 different states, and that's a really great way for us to acquire more information. That takes 1 minute for somebody to fill out. So we had over 500 people vote in one day, so that was pretty cool. In addition, I mean, we took a pretty serious and aggressive approach to media placements. This year we tried to focus a little bit more on the fine art. We placed an ad, a pretty nice ad and digital placement on Chicago Gallery News, and we felt that it really did pan out because after surveying lots of the visitors and where they came from, we had a ton of people coming from Illinois. And we did a lot of social media targeted advertising in Illinois. We also were pleased to welcome PBS. They came on Tuesday. They filmed all of our classes, and then they also came on Sunday and filmed the festival. And they're going to be doing a segment on the entire thing at the end of August. Travel Wisconsin also showed up. It was sort of the year of video crews, which is very exciting. West Bend Community TV was there. There were drones in the skies, so I was policing it all, but it was really great. And we're really excited about the publicity. I think it will really help us for next year as well, just to have even greater awareness. We also did a full page ad in Fox Cities magazine in hopes to attract people from up in the Fox Cities to come down and really work to get people from within a 250 mile radius to the festival. All right, so Art and Chalk Fest would not be possible without the support of all the volunteers and staff in our community, so thank you for all of your support. This year we had over 150 volunteers and staff members present for the several days, and that was just so amazing. We also had the Do Good bus come and help us out on Sunday. It was a sort of a sponsored bus by, and so that brought 40 volunteers, and we could just take as many as possible. So thank you to everybody who helped. Even if you just helped spread the word, it's great. And here's a look at our sponsors this year. Special thanks to the West Bend Tourism Commission, Horicon Bank, Summers, and everyone on this list for making this event possible. We try our best to get all of them out there as much as possible and tagging sponsors on posts and putting them on signage and materials, and we appreciate all the support. So we've taken a lot of time to talk through numbers, to count various sources, and we feel very confident that we had 21,000 visitors over the course of the weekend. And this picture I think says a lot of that. It was very busy, especially on Sunday, and we get those numbers from our museum clickers. We have people clicking the entrances. We also have a raffle, and we have a map to show where people are coming from, and we're just trying to do whatever we can to estimate how many people are there. It's maybe slightly down from the year before, and we're thinking there are a few factors in play. The year before we had over 20,000 people as well, so we feel really, really pleased with this number. But there was an air show that takes place every other year. We've got a few other major events, and then just the heat was pretty excessive. So we felt like maybe if somebody was coming for 2 days in the past or something, maybe they came for one. It was hot, but overall, we're really pleased with that amount of people. So I did a brief economic impact report to show you sort of what we estimate. This year we estimate we had more people from West Bend than in the past because it's getting out there a little farther. Last year we said 80%. This year, looking at membership data and the raffle data and any other way that we're asking people. Anna did a few surveys too on where people were coming from. We feel like this is pretty representative. So I took out 5,300 visitors from the report here. And so given the numbers from the Department of Tourism, the average day trip visitor spends $68 a day, and the average overnight leisure visitor is $151 a day. So we estimate that about 1.5% stayed overnight in a hotel. It's a really nominal amount out of everyone, but we asked our artists and we asked visitors, and a lot of people did say they stayed in one, but it's hard to know exactly how many. So as an estimate, we said 1.5% of all of it. And so adding all of this up, we're looking at an impact of approximately $1.1 million in the city of West Bend throughout the weekend. And then the weekend comes to a close every year. It's never easy to say goodbye. So the last 2 years, we've done something really special with the West Bend Fire Department and had them come and really kind of put on a fun show and let kids wash away the artwork. The chalk artist told us in 2017, we really need to wash it off right away because first, they want people there while they're there. They consider themselves sort of performers. And second, some of the base layer that they put on, even though it's non-toxic, it's really, it has a staining element, and it can just kind of make our canvas look bad forever. And so they're like, we want people there while we're there, please wash it off. So we do. So the first year we learned our lesson and we just washed it off and people were, outraged. And so instead we decided to do something fun and really celebrate it and kind of put that, cherry on the top of a fantastic weekend. And, the West Bend Fire Department is amazing and coming and working with every kid to spray it down, and even the chalk artists are there and they're spraying it down, and it's kind of a big party. And this year we had about 75 people or so there. So, thank you so much to the fire department for really making this a great way to end a weekend. So, and then next year, save the date. We have Art and Chalk Fest 2020 already planned. It's always the last weekend of July. We already have over 2,500 RSVPs on social media, and it's just growing greatly and every day. So, if you'd like to be involved in any way, let me know. We hope it was a success for you in downtown. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a great event. Unfortunately, I was out of town this year, but I heard a lot of really positive. Anybody else have anything else?
Pretty much just echo those sentiments. Very nice event.
Great. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you as well. It was a wonderful event, and
Good.
we opened up on Sunday actually, which we're normally closed on, and it was great.
Good. Thank you.
So item 3, Arts in August presentation.
I'm afraid the only visual aids I have are
I'm-
postcards and me.
Okay. I need you to go to the microphone though, unless you're going to hand something out.
So I will hand you the postcards, tell you about what's going on. Thank you. And also have the arts clear.
Should be attached to the agenda as well.
My name is Jack Pachuta. I am the president of the League of Milwaukee Artists, and why you say are Milwaukee artists in West Bend? Well, part of our mission is to enhance and promote the arts in southeastern Wisconsin. And West Bend, of course, is part of southeastern Wisconsin. The main event that we will be having this coming weekend is different than the Art and Chalk Fest in this respect. We have plein air artists. Now, plein air artists are outdoor artists. They're out in the streets of West Bend. They're going to be painting all the scenes, the sights of West Bend. And we have right now, as of today, 42 artists who will be in the streets of West Bend, also in the parks, painting all of the different scenes of West Bend. A lot of people always like to have a painting of their hometown. Well, every bit of art that's going to be produced during the 3 days of the plein air, and it starts on Thursday, all day Friday, and then up until noon on Saturday, it will all be for sale at the History Center of Washington County, the old courthouse up on top of the hill. So the artists will be working for 2.5 days, and then there'll be an awards presentation at between 4 and 6 on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And we have almost $5,000 in awards. And Epic Creative, wonderful sponsor, Joe Rogie, $2,000 for Best of Show. So we have 2 plein air judges, and the Best of Show, the best painting in those 2.5 days, will get a $2,000 award. Right now we have artists from 5 states coming, plein air artists. So Illinois, Minnesota, Ohio, I'm missing a state someplace in there, Wisconsin, of course, and then they will be painting the farmers market on Saturday morning too. So there'll be a paint the market competition, 2 different competitions. And all in all, there'll be 12 awards for outdoor art. And the art will be displayed in the History Center for a week after the event. So the event ends on Saturday, but it'll be displayed until the 17th of August at the History Center in the old courtroom, which means anybody in West Bend can come in to the old courtroom and buy a piece of art, a painting of West Bend. The History Center gets a percentage of all the sales. So that's a fundraiser for them too, because whatever sells, they get a percentage of the sales. In association with that, we have a very small art fair, not nearly the size of Art and Chalk Fest, with some of the artists who will be in the plein air competition and some other artists who want to be here. Right now, we have artists from 6 states coming. In fact, I just talked with a wonderful Asian artist from St. Louis this morning to try to organize things as far as him being here. We have an artist, a jeweler from Florida coming. So we have artists from all over the place too, and we tried to be very picky in terms of the artists that we chose. So on the Friday and the Saturday, in addition to the plein air going on, some of the artists will be displaying their work in the parking lot and the Veterans Plaza at the History Center. And, you know, Mike Christian, of course, Mike has homegrown music. So for 2 days, Friday and Saturday, homegrown music will also be playing up at the History Center. So it's a combination of different things. It's the plein air art and the small art fair and also the homegrown music. And interestingly enough, of course, it's on the same weekend as the Cash Bash. So we're going to have geocachers in town too, which means you're going to have people going around town looking for all of the caches, and there'll be activity going on at the History Center. So all this combined should make an interesting weekend coming up. Now, the postcards I gave you is an overview of the things that are going on. So the art fair is really only 2 days. It's the Friday from 3 until 8, and then Saturday from 10 until 7. The plein air is a 3-day event. And the artists, they'll be given a map of the main areas of West Bend, and they can paint anywhere they want to within the boundaries of that map. So you will see artists in the streets. You'll see them painting the buildings, you'll see them painting the parks, you'll see them painting different parts of West Bend. Each artist can produce as many as 3 pieces of art for the competition, and then 1 piece of art for the Paint the Market competition. So right now, as I said, we have 42 artists who have registered at this point. They can register right up until the day of the competition, which means on Thursday morning there'll be a tent up at the History Center in the parking or in the Veterans Plaza, and artists can walk up and they can register. So one of the postcards that you have there, people can register online, or if you have any friends in West Bend who would like to participate, it's a $45 registration fee, and they can be part of the plein air, and they can display their art, and they can sell their art right here in West Bend of all the different sites and the different things that you have in West Bend. Anything else I can answer for you?
How do they choose what they're painting?
It's totally up to them. We give them a map, and so they can pick and choose whatever they want to paint in West Bend. Part of the competition, of course, is getting a nice piece of art that will win a prize. So they're going to look for the most scenic places and the places that have a nice mystique to them to be able to win the prizes.
Any questions? Sounds like a great event. Thanks for putting it on, and we're becoming the community of art, obviously.
Well, that's a good thing, Mike. That's a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4, the DEO rollout. I think Adam's going to go down and...
It just did a great job, so then I really wanted to. All right, this is loaded up. Nope, it's not. Well, all right, let's start with the quick facts. And Patty told me a button I'm supposed to press that will put it into full screen mode. And that button was located in the upper left-hand corner, right. Never mind. So, all the materials are ready, and today is your kickoff of the Downtown Entrepreneur Opportunity. Here are your quick facts. You should have all received them in an email. Kind of a great, exciting day. It took longer than expected to get this going, but you'll see why. We got some really, really good stuff for people to jump on board with. 2 businesses still on board. The group is still on board with attracting that. Required documents, just the completed application, the business plan, and then I left it. Yeah, great. Patty, why don't you talk about it while you're working on this too? There you are. Thanks. I didn't see how he did that, so when I pull up the next document, it's going to be an issue. So then I left it open-ended for their additional materials so that they can bring in whatever they would like to show why they are the best fit for West Bend and this program, and to help encourage the selection committee. Deadlines. So there's a method to this. So materials due September 20th gives a lot of opportunity for us to market this for a good amount of time. It's about a month and a half. The selection committee, I put the September 26th date in hopes that the selection committee, the Commons Task Force, can set up a meeting that date. If it needs to be adjusted, I'd like to make sure we do that this morning, because we will be setting up a link to the website that everybody can go in and grab all of this stuff out of and then send them in to me. And then the bid meeting decision, October 1st. That gives us, after the October 1st bid meeting, to have a month of prep. We're going to be prepping the building. Habitat for Humanity is on board to build out the space and help with that. JL Business has jumped on board and said we'll furnish this. Just a lot. Alexa has recently also said we'll help with all things IT. So it's going to take some time to get this set up for them, which then rolls into Startup Week. So Startup Wisconsin Week is November 11th. And that's going to be a full week. West Bend is going to be participating and having their own Startup West Bend Week in conjunction with Startup Milwaukee. So, it's kind of a really exciting thing happening for the city. Now, if we roll this into that week and we promote it during that week, then we're also using the Startup Wisconsin platform to show what the downtown is doing. So that is that. So please print these off, tell your friends, and we will get that going. You should all have your application that if anybody asks. Also, I gave a logo a shot and then showed Jess, and then Jess said in 5 minutes, I had some time during lunch and then made you guys a way better logo. So I'm gonna start throwing this all over all of your documents too, so that now we have this branded in some way. Was it 30 minutes, not 5 minutes? It's great. And then it just asks them why. This is all something the selection committee can use to figure out who's coming in front of the bid in October and use that as their materials. All right? And all applications will be sent to me. And then your full overview. This actually gets kind of neat. If you print this in booklet form, you can fold it over itself and it lays really nicely. And just staple at the bindings. If you print it yourself, bring it into City Hall. I'll staple it for you if you'd like. I found a really cool stapler that does it. And then also we are talking about the business development loan pool program in the back of this to meet any of those gaps if people have any issues. Saying, hey, I'm still going to have a few costs here and there. So when discussing this in the community, please bring up that fact. If they're like, well, I still need an extra $10,000, well, that's a 1% loan that can be paid over the course of 10 years at a 1%. So it's a really great rate through First Bank Financial Center. And then there's all the contact information, and this document is not correct because it says applications are found at figureoutthelinkadam.com. We need to put the link up on our website, and then we'll have the link there. So I emailed this to you, but please don't send it out to people. Otherwise, there's going to be a really cool website out there somebody's going to make. All right. Any questions? Great.
No, I think this is great. I know there was a lot of energy put into this, and I know there was a lot of concern about a year ago that the money we invested in Commons probably wasn't a smart move, but obviously this is a product of that. So I think it's really good. And all of you that were involved in it, thank you very much for putting it together.
And I will note too, on page 2 or 3, a half-day session with the Commons group focused on strategy and marketing is in this package. So they are jumping on board and said, hey, we're going to help out. So that's good. Anything else? Thank you.
So if there's nothing else, we'll move on to item 5, which is the special meeting on August 12th. Those of you that weren't at the meeting last month, there was a group of us that met with the Wisconsin Historical Society to look at making the downtown area a historic district. So on August 12th, it was decided that we would do a night meeting so that building owners from the downtown or anybody could come in and listen to the presentation. So we're going to have somebody from Wisconsin Historical Society is going to come in and give us a presentation on the process of becoming a historic district, as well as the pros and cons of being a historic district. So we called a special meeting for August 12th. Is it 6 o'clock, I believe?
Yes.
So hopefully everybody can come and learn. And Adam and Jay and I already went through the presentation, and it's very interesting. I will tell you, come with an open mind, because I went in not knowing, having any idea what we were going to see. And when it was all done, it was kind of like, wow, it's not anything I thought. And I think it's a really good thing for the community if we can make it happen.
It's going to be here.
It will be here. So, with that, yes?
You will all be getting an invitation that's made up for this. You'll get the agenda like normal, but an invitation will also go out to the rest of the bid. So if you have any business or building owners that you think would want to be on this and may not be in the bids email list yet, please forward it on to them.
So if there's no other questions, we can look at items for the next agenda, which won't be in August, it would be in September, or we can do that on August 12th, and we can move to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
So